Hello. I don't know if everybody knows the expression the carrot and the stick, which is like the temptation and the encouragement to come to our side, and the stick, which says you really should. Because I was thinking about it, I was thinking, how are we going to persuade these big farmers who there's no point in appealing, say, to their better nature to stop farming intensively, for example, and all these big companies. And so initially, I think we can literally outbid them and just say, look, we are going to make it better for you to stop doing what you're doing and move it into move their operations into the control of people who can manage them ethically, whether it's winding down or repurposing. But on the other hand, the other side of things is the stick, because quite often you don't get a response, and or you don't expect to get a response because the banks maybe will want to say, oh well, we don't have to do that. We make our own legislation, and actually, whatever they want to say. So you need a body of work, and I'd love for people. This is only half mine. I put a nice picture on the front, painting, just to take the edge off. But it's basically a body of work that shows the criminal misconduct in public office. And what this does is it says, you don't want things to change, but the fact is you have lost your credibility to be in public office. Your contracts and legislation have lost their validity because they've been shown to be commercially motivated, for example. So one kind of legal instrument that came up and I got from Anna von Reitz is an idea of a bill of lading. And this is where the government, she asked the Vatican actually, to move all the assets from the maritime jurisdiction back onto the land jurisdiction. So a bill of lading is where, let me just see a detailed list of a ship's cargo in the form of a receipt given by the master of the ship to the person consigning the goods. So it's a notice to return physical assets from the maritime to the land jurisdiction, like a payment bond. So this is this is one strategy that we can all use because it's kind of simple. All that it really says, I mean, there's a few different things it says, but to really simplify it so it applies to every single one of us in every single nation, it basically says you are liable for fraud because you've been keeping two sets of accounts. One, public accounts, where we talk about the public debt and the national debt, and do not mention our credit at all. No mention of that. But also another set of accounts, for example, in my body of work, Ireland Incorporated. And this is the corporate side, which has oceans of credit that they repurpose and make more and more on the back of, and that are doing extremely well. So in any business, and these are all registered businesses, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to keep two sets of accounts, one public, one private. So this is a concept that we can all get our heads around. I'll share my template that I've made more general, and also the idea of it is to start getting confident with the knowledge that they have to pay this back. In Writ 111, there are many pages of how the banks have mishandled and misspent and misappropriated the funds that belong to the Alpha Omega Trust and the others. That is also not allowed. They are not. That is a crime to use someone else's money and entrusted with that money to the banks. So It's just trying to remember to get our confidence in what's what. So we're not just asking nicely. We're kind of saying, this has to be done. So let's work together and work out how it's going to be done here in this country for the benefit of us all.